There we go. Man, needed to be up there a lot closer to the rocks, I guess. Oh. Oh, dang it. Oh yeah, better fish. This one better stay down. I'm not losing another good one. Oh yeah, another good fish. All right. Oh, lost probably a 3-pounder earlier, but I did land this one. All right. There we go. Chunky dude to start the day. Should have been a couple by now, but lost that first good one. Just slow blooping a popper, man. They do not seem to want anything going super fast. So I'll oblige them by going slow with the popper. Coming back to get some food. Go back and find more. Okay, first one landed this morning on the P71 popper. I love this thing. I'm glad they bought this back. It's discontinued. It's a little bit larger bodied popper. Love it. I've caught a bunch of fish on these. This is the, I don't know, blueback one. I like it because it's got that bright orange so I can see where it's at. They want it right up against the bank. You got to be way up on it. There's another one. Oh, and you got to be right on that stuff too. Stay down. I don't feel like losing more fish today. This isn't a giant or anything, but boy, they are upset about it when they hit it. Okay. Couple casts later, got another one. Let's go. Oh, he's a chunk. Oh, a lot better than I thought. Look at how fat that thing is. All right, there we go. Another 2-pounder. Look how fat that dude is. Short and stocky. I'll take it. Couple casts later. Thanks, buddy. Okay, what do we got for structure? Show me something. Submerged. That I can hit. Give me that gosh darn fish. All right, there we go. Jig fish out a little deeper. I wondered if the old point would have one. And it did. A jig fish. All right, another little 2-pounder. I'll take that off the jig, out deeper. Look at that hook set. Hodgepodge since the topwater bite stopped. There we go. 2-pounder on the jig, out deeper. Well, maybe there's a few jig fish here to be had before I call it. I was getting ready to call it. Oh, another one off the rocks. That's a better fish, feels like. Oh, baby, come on, be a good fish. No, stay down. Oh, yeah. Good fish there. Oh, all right. A toad on the jig. He's got somebody else's stuff in his mouth, too. All right. Makes up for the big one I lost this morning. Look at that. He's got somebody else's beetle spin or something in his mouth. There we go. Some little crappie deal. Oh my gosh, that hooks it right in the nose. Yes, sir. All right, made up for the one I lost this morning, 3.5 pounder. Best one of the trip so far. We'll take it. There we go. Yes. Took it and ran out under me. I didn't even feel him. One more on the jig. That might be my sign out fish for the day. Little dude. Damn it. Oh, you rat. Yeah, came back for it. He bit it when it come over it the first time. Luckily I got a second chance at him. Decent fish, 2 pounder I'm guessing. In the wood, switching to the jig has been the deal. Keeps going right under the boat. Trying not to go over all this stuff. All right. Another solid fish. Another one. 2.5, something like that. Heck yeah. There we go, all beat up. On the jig, the War Eagle Jiu-Jitsu. I like this jig a lot. All right, fishing friends, that was the trip. And honestly, I would have put money on it being a popper day the whole time. I got there early, good little overhangs there, making a little shade line. I had a couple other blowups. I missed that first good one, probably 3 pounder or something. A couple other small boil blowups, but I was surprised that not more fish hit the popper there. The popper, it's the Rebel P71. I don't have it tied on anymore, nothing on this right now, but I'll leave that link below. All the gear and everything, whenever I talk about it, I link it below. If you ever use those links to Tackle Warehouse, a little bit comes back to me, so I appreciate that. But I can talk about the combo, and this has been a dang sweet combo. I know that's upside down, but this is the Shimano Curado 70 MGL. It is an absolute dream to fish this combo because it is Curado and Curado, and I don't hear enough people talk about these rods. I feel like these rods go under the radar. I really liked them. I think I have 3 or 4 different ones. This one is the 6/8 medium, rated for lures 1/4 to 3/4 ounce. And for poppers, walking baits, anything like that where I'm moving the rod, continuously working, jerk baits, that kind of stuff, I like a shorter rod in the kayak so I'm not hitting stuff. Same thing from the banks, so you're not hitting weeds and rocks and such. And this has been a really good rod. I've really liked this series. It's got a smooth reel nut here. I always talk about those in case you want to put your fingers up here. So it's nice to have that. It seems really well made. It is EVA. I know some people don't like the EVA, so if that's the deal. Another thing I never really cared about until I got in the kayak is the lure keeper back here. This one does have treble hooks. So I like to use the bait wraps. I don't have one, but it's like a Velcro thing you just cover your bait in. So I'm not accidentally getting my arms or anything caught on it. Can't do that because this goes down, it fits down in the kayak rod holder behind me. So I do like to have the bait keepers up here. I end up just hooking it on my reel and leaving it uncovered and put it in the far back rod holder so I don't get snagged in it. Because sometimes when I reach around to get my boxes and stuff, I'll get snagged in treble hooks. So I've learned that treble hook baits go in the far back rod holders. But anyway, 14 pound mono, Trilene XL in the red box. Still love it. Call me weird. Now on the kayak, I could see going braid to a leader more because you kind of have to put an oomph into them. And I noticed on that first one where I caught it, it just kind of pulled into it. The kayak platform and everything is moving. It's not like where you're on a solid boat and can really lean back with your hips and such. You really got to put the pepper to them in the kayak, even with treble hook baits. So that's something I might mess around with more, but this isn't like an overly soft rod. I mean, it's a pretty medium, like fast, moderate fast, but it's not like a super waffly, crankbait rod that's doing this all the way down to the middle. So really like that combo. If you've not checked out the Curado line of rods, I would advise them. And of course, a lot of people have talked about the Curado MGL 70. Good, small, little profile and hand. It's just super comfortable. Now for the jig, this ended up being the savior. I threw a crankbait, I threw a swim bait. That was the Citizen, the video I showed you. I caught, I think, 2 little dinks on it there that morning. But honestly, it was a pretty slow day until I started throwing around the jig, and it was really that rocky point where I caught a few of them with this. This is the War Eagle Jiu-Jitsu jig. So it's like your Arky style head. It's got the horizontal line tie there. You can see in line with it. I tied the double shindo knot. I think that is the strongest, best knot. I love it, and I don't worry about getting the little tiny tag-ins down to like 1/87th of a millimeter. I just cut them, leave them, it's good. But the War Eagle Jiu-Jitsu is a great do-it-all jig. It comes up and over wood really well. I was hopping in those rocks, so that's kind of been my go-to jig the past 2 times I've thrown them, unless I'm specifically going finesse, you know, like a round ball head, something like the War Eagle finesse jig, or there's other ones out there. I think those are best, you know, in the rocks and such, especially from the bank, a round ball head. But this one I was flipping around wood in those rocks, did really well. I like that it's the Dirty Junebug or something like that. It's like a green pumpkin mixed with like a Junebug purple in it. So I like those 2-tone colors. And originally I was throwing the Chunky D, or was it the Mini D chunk? One of them, I don't remember. But then I ended up putting on just the regular missile baits, the D-bomb on the back, and that worked as well. So missile baits, if you haven't looked at their plastic, they got a bunch of good ones. The little Chunky D trailer, there's the Mini D, I don't remember all the names of them. Anyway, they've got like 3 of them. The little trailer one, the Chunky D, which is like a flipping bait, and then just their regular D-bomb, which is this one in the, I think like the Blue Craw or something like that. I don't remember. Like I said, I'll leave them all linked below, but I like how it's kind of that 2-tone color as well. So that was the jig. And the combo, this is one I've not got to talk to you guys about, but it is the new line of Daiwa Tatula bass rods. Now these, I think just won the freshwater rod category at ICAST for the year. I've had it well before that. They were on sale before that. This one actually was the Frog heavy cover, and I got it because I was thinking, you know, am I going to use this for a frog rod? I've already got a couple. Haven't used it for that, but I've used it as my heavy flipping combo. So like 1/2 ounce jigs, 5/8 ounce jigs, or, you know, 1/2 ounce Texas rigs, something like that. That's what I got it for, a little bit heavier flipping and pitching. I tell you what, the rod feels dang good. I thought it would be a little bit too stiff. I can't really show it, but it is pretty much, I mean, a fast. It's not extra soft or anything. It gets into the backbone really well. And I think from a kayak, I'm going to play with faster rods more in general. Usually I like softer rods. I've tended to go on the soft side of stuff for jigs, moving baits, that kind of stuff. But in the kayak, again, with the moving platform, I feel like for some things you can definitely move up a power or go to a stiffer rod and have better results than if you're on the bank or in the boat, where you generally have more of a stable platform. So messing with that for jigs and stuff, man, this thing felt awesome. You saw me swinging on them in there. Didn't lose a single fish on this. And the reel, I can't talk about this dang reel enough. Now I put a pitch and flip handle on this one, but this is the Tatula 80. Small, compact, aluminum frame, aluminum handle side plate. It's just such a little workhorse without having, you know, the 200 size or something for a whole bunch of extra line you don't need. When I'm just flipping and pitching, you know, I only need 30 yards of line, you know, something like that. I'm not going any more than that on a decent cast or something, 20 yards. So for something like that, I like, you know, a little small compact reel like this. It feels dang good. And in hand, I really like it. The only thing is the knuckle grinder of a reel nut. Now when I put my finger here, it doesn't really touch it, but if I'm moving my hand, you know, if I'm casting or anything, it does rub up against it, and I don't love that. I ended up just putting my finger under it and fishing it, and it actually felt pretty dang good still. So might be something I have to cover, but the rod itself looks freaking awesome. I'll do a full review of this. I've got a couple things. Full cork back here. It's split, sorry. Split cork, but it's cork here and in the back. Feels good. Good components. Awesome in hand. You're going to see that more. But that is the jig combo. And it's one of those days where, you ever have this where you have something planned and you think you're going to do good on something? I would have bet everything it would have been the popper, but it's kind of a busy day out there. Was 4 or 5 other boats, not a super busy lake. There was guys fishing on the bank when I first got there, so a few spots I wanted to hit were already covered. So it was kind of a tough morning, but that was the time I went camping a couple weeks back with Greg and his buddies. Shout out to them, super nice, you know, sharing food and all that. We had some good stories. Actually, his buddy was catching them on the oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it. The Rapala with the cup mouth. Skitter pop. That's what his buddy was catching all his topwater fish on the day before. He had a ton of luck on that, fishing that around laydowns and stuff. So I really thought the popper that morning would have crushed it, but it didn't. So what do? You adapt, try to find different fish, and you go after them. Now today's subscribed fishing friend is BD Aquatics. Now, he lives in Texas and said, man, I live in Caryville, Texas on the Guadalupe River. Don't know if you've watched, but the floods here were really bad. Yeah, holy crap. Shout out to all those folks affected. Thoughts and prayers. My gosh, I've been through one really, really close. Luckily, our family was not impacted, but I know the devastation it does, and it's like a disaster zone, a war zone when you go down there. People ripping all the stuffs out their houses, just, you know, lining the roads of mess. It is awful. It can just take everything away in an instant, and that's what he said. We take way too much for granted in life. Your videos help me, and I'm going to hit up some new rivers in the surrounding areas. Just make every cast count, bro. Your next time out, really take it all in. Yeah, because it really could be your last one, and I try to say that in all my videos. I'm out to have fun. You know, I'm not a tournament guy. I'm not out trying to win millions of dollars. I'm not a trophy hunter. I just love to fish and catch fish. So I think that's something people really need to keep in mind, because these days there's so much negativity in the fishing area with tournament stuff and this and that. And I don't know, go out and have fun, because if you're not having fun doing it, what's the point? You know, go out and have fun. So brother, thank you. And thank you everybody else that continues to watch and support. It really does mean a ton to me. But I got to edit. Thank you all for watching. And until next time.